Hello, how you doing? Um, I just saw something on that tree over there. It may have been a squirrel. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of squirrels on YouTube lately. I like squirrels. You probably do too. This video it's because, like the last few videos I've done, I talk about how I've learned to not like people, dealing with toxic people, how I want to be alone. A lot of, like, not everybody in my story is a bad guy, you know? Some people are accidental bad guys too, like they're not really mean-spirited. So this video, it's for you guys that are like, oh, you know what? I like you, Angie, and I want to be your friend, but I'm I feel like you have too many rules or something. Like, however do I please you? Maybe nobody feels that way too. I don't know. You know, um, a lot of what I say might be delusional. Like I said, I've been verbally and emotionally and physically abused and things like that. So and gaslighted to death. Gaslighting is like my whole background. So it's I struggle like I have it, I've been told bad things. I've been drilled in my head that nobody cares about anything I ever have to say. So I'm just always hoping someone will care, but maybe someone does, and I shouldn't have even worried about it, or just I don't know. But how to be friends. I'll call this video "How to Be Friends with a Trans Woman," and then I'll put in parentheses me. Because I don't really, it's going to differ when it comes to something like that. So now I'm not calling anybody a bigot, but really it's also about how not to be a bigot. How to, me as a trans woman, I'm one of the, if I was a black trans woman, I would be like the smallest minority group in our country. But I'm a white trans woman, so that's like the second smallest minority group in the country. So, like, we definitely, living a life like this, I definitely have something to teach people about not being a bigot and being nice. It's like, oh, okay, I've had enough. Remember, I'm not calling anybody a bigot. I am, but I'm just like, can you just listen? Gosh damn. Okay, so the typical attitude that I get with people that supposedly care about me, is that they're like, oh, but I know that you're not a girl. I know that you were born a boy. I've known you my whole life. Like, I get that a lot. So their argument is, why shouldn't I be able to call you whatever I want to? So it's really not that hard. Like, it's the same with anything. Like, if there was a woman that was like overweight, would you say, dude, you are so fat, just look how huge you are, you are one fat bitch, holy hell, you're gigantic? Would you say that? You wouldn't say that. So if you can figure out why that's a bad thing to do, then you should be able to figure out why you should use female pronouns and refer to me as a woman. So that's one point. Now let's marry that point with this point. So if you see me, a couple more points. So one point is I know I have empathy from you guys' perspective. This is what it's like to be you. Like, maybe if at the very, very first, like the first bing, like second of seeing me, you probably think that I'm a woman, that I'm a cis woman, and you see me, and then something feels wrong about it, and you're like, oh, something's not right about this. So then, like, you focus in, and then you figure it out, and you're like, oh, you figured it out, and so that's understandable. Just know that I know that first of all, I've done that before with other trans women. I've been all, hang on a second, wait a second, hey, I want to say, hey, I'm a trans woman too. but then I bite my tongue and I say no, because that's the same thing. That would be just like you guys coming up and saying, hey, just like, do black people want to be pointed out for being black? You are so black. Look at your black skin. I think black skin's beautiful. Look how black you are. No, they just want to be a person. They don't want to be a black person. They just want to be a person. I just want to be a person too. I don't want it to be such a big deal, So now that's the second point. Now the third point is then you see me the next day, and I'm still presenting as a female. Then you see me the next day, I'm still presenting as a female. A week later, still presenting as a female. A month later, still presenting as a female. A year later, still half a decade later, still presenting as a woman. Right? So, that if you put all of those points together, you realize that if you're the kind of person that's nice and kind and loving and doesn't want to hurt people, but is positive and wants to make people feel good about themselves and things like that, so then you would know that you wouldn't make it such a complicated thing. So now, am I supposed to call you woman or not? Or that's how, just like the wondering and everything and making it a big deal is rude. Rude is weak, Moltred. Rude is weak, Moltred. You mustn't be rude. So just if I think I'm a woman, then that. So then, like, now and one more point is science. Now, people that get really into, they're trying to figure it out logically. They say, but I can see that there's two things. There's male and female, and everything in the world is made out of male and female, and masculine and feminine, and negative and positive, and everything's a polarity. That's not true. If before you decide you know everything, you should research. It's like that for any subject. Research it and just find out, see what the facts are. The facts about gender is that it's a spectrum. There are transgender animals. Nature's filled with transgender things. There are three genders. There's actually more than three genders, really, if you get really like intellectual about it, But but the number 3 means, like, number 1 means this thing, number 2 means and this thing, and number 3 means this thing and possibly there's more, so this thing and all the others. So part of the meaning is three is that it's and something else that's either in between 1 and 2, or yet another thing, meaning there could be many, many other things, In this case, it just means in between. You've seen my tattoo, Part of me is male, part of me is female, and part of me is something in between. See how it means that? That's the glyph for transgender people, Some of us are trans men, some are trans women, but we're all the middle gender, So the point I'm making with this fourth point is that scientifically, science is the facts and the science is on my side, that I'm a middle gender person. When you refuse to understand, to intellectualize and understand scientifically that there's 3 genders, then that's your problem, So don't claim to know the facts and represent the facts if you don't even know the information, okay? So then, like Sarah Silverman talks about political correctness. She's like, oh, come on, guys, it's not that hard. If Asian people don't want to be called Oriental and they want to be called Asian and it makes their lives better, you don't know everything about what it's like to be them. If they insist that matters, then it must matter for some reason, If black people want to be called black people and not Negroes anymore, or just like it's, all the different changes we've seen in my lifetime since the 70s, you just make the damn changes, because everybody's important. It's part of being kind. You like, just like I said, if you have a overweight female friend, you don't say, you are one fat bitch. Look at your fat ass, man. You take up like 3 spaces. You're one fat bitch. That would make you a jerk. You know, what kind of person would do that? What a horrible person. So like when people call me, yes sir, you dude, you're bro, hey bro, you're a dude, sir, you're a dude, sir, hey sir, how you doing? Some people just, they talk like that and just rub it in, and they, like they're either trying to hurt me, trying to make me feel like I might as well just give up the fight, or they're trying to do something, and it's negative and it's hurtful. And it's not someone that's trying to unify and make the world a better place. It's not someone that's trying to be kind, and it's not someone that's trying to be scientific and factual. It might be for religious reasons. I think religion primes people to you know, because then all the hateful people plant the seeds of hate, so there's that option to go the mean direction, and then religions encourage people to go that direction, you know, because they're like, oh, and Jesus wants you to be mean to transgender people, okay everybody, it says in the Bible, and that's how it's always been, you know. So for 3,000 years since Moses, you guys have been killing us, you know, because it's the law of Moses to kill transgender people, and we're still here. You know, obviously it's not working. You know, how many of us need to be killed before you realize that we just keep coming back? And why do we keep coming back? Because it's natural. And you're like, oh, but I can tell you're not a woman. That's because you're obsessed with the idea that there's two options. There's not two options, there's three options. I'm the third gender, the middle gender, okay? You know, it's like, I can tell you're not a woman, a cis woman, C-I-S, cis woman. Learn the vocabulary, learn how to speak English, first of all. Cis woman means you're born a woman and you're still a woman and you're happy about it. Cis man means you're born a boy and you're living that way and you're still happy about it. Trans woman means you transition to that place, you know, obviously because you weren't happy about it, gender dysphoria. Or a trans man, you transition to a man, you know, so either cis woman, meaning you stayed it means same. Cis woman means you stayed in the same place. Trans woman means you transition to that place. Woman being the final destination. You know, so like, I'm not a cis woman. I'm not trying to be a cis woman. I'm not trying to make you think I'm a cis woman. I don't need you to think that I'm a cis woman. I don't want you to think I'm a cis woman. To be honest, if a genie popped out of a bottle and said, Angie, I could make you as beautiful as a 20-year-old cis woman, what do you think about that? I'd say, okay. You know, I would go for it. I won't lie to you. You know, it's the psychologists call our problem, though they don't call it a problem anymore because they're smart, because they've realized it doesn't accomplish anything. Gender dysphoria, meaning we're not happy with the gender. Dysphoria means not happy. We were born, you know, I'm not happy with that I was born a boy. You know, that doesn't make me feel good or be happy or glad to be alive or anything positive. But I'm happy to be a trans woman because I accept the reality of my position. And I think that you can do the same thing. I could do the same thing for a trans woman. The things you go through, I go through too. If I see a trans woman, you know, like for me, from some angles, I'm just ugly. Sometimes I'm just like, see my reflection, I'm like, oh, whoa. You know, I sympathize with those people that don't like me. Sometimes you are one ugly motherfucker, but then I say, no, be nice. You just heard yourself say that. You know, we have to be careful what we say about ourselves. You know, I'm a nice person. I don't deserve to be called ugly. I'm nice. You know, so, but you gotta do that I gotta do that to women too. If I went to a room filled with trans women, some of them I'd think, ooh, boy. You know, I would feel that and think that just like you do for a second, but then I would instantly have empathy, and I would say, no, I want this person to be happy, and for all I know, they're a great friend. I could use a great friend. Maybe they're my next great friend. You know, maybe I'm your next great friend. Maybe you should try being nice to me and making me happy, because you know what? If you can't do these things, I might as well call this video "How to Be Angie's Friend," because like, if you're like, oh nope, I disagree with the whole thing, I will not comply in any way, shape, or form, You know, that's fine, it's your opinion, but guess what? You don't get to be my friend, because why would I want to hang out with you? Look at that fat bitch. Your ass is like 5 times as big as everybody else's. Well, you fat motherfucker. You know, it's like, well, then you don't get to be your friend. Why would she want to be your friend? You just called her a fat motherfucker. Right? Why would I want to be your friend? You're calling me sir. Okay, sir. Sir, why don't you just come up and slap me in the face? Slap you in the face in the name of Jesus Christ. You know? It's just like, what the hell, dude? That's making me hurt my feelings. I'm gonna cry.